Pete Casati. Scotty Atman, that's who that is.
Yep. I don't see him on the roster.
All right, just in case you missed it, here's the instant replay. The only difference is there's different players out there, so it's really not going to be the same thing. So it's not like Groundhog Day or anything. I'm Coach Sean Albrecht, and once again, joining me, Coach Will Komar, and I'm going to call him Coach Cal Noble, Cahal Noble, for our CPTC live stream. Can I say that? Oh, you do teach, so that's right. So you got to call you Coach. At the lovely Valley Low Club in wonderful bucolic, what's another, Rustic, yes, Rustic, Glenview, Illinois. And the Valley Low Eagles, and again, I'm making that up. I don't think that's their mascot, but it sounds good. It also looks like Mark Miller is on fire. If you look at the, I know that sounds like a weird image, but if you look into the window, it just looks like he's on fire because the fire is, of course, reflecting from the window. One of the weirdest images I think I've ever broadcast. Anyway, do we have intros? Do you want to do the intros again, Coach Will?
Yeah, I'd love to, and I'd also like you to lay off the LSD. So, here we go. We've got Valley Low versus South Barrington Club, Series 5. This is, I believe, Court 3. Pete Casati on the far side in the purple, director over at Biltmore Country Club.
Yep.
Very good rackets player. Been playing paddle for a while now and has accrued a, let's look at his PTI. What do we have here for Pete Casati? He is coming in at a 28.2 on the Richter scale. 4-5 record on the season. Alongside
it's a hell of an earthquake.
Alongside him, subbing up from Series 10, Scott Atman.
Scotty Atman, good kid.
Yeah, really good rackets player himself.
Absolutely.
I've seen him in a couple. I think he's subbed up to. I think he subbed up on the 5 match at North Shore Country Club this year.
It wouldn't surprise me, Coach. He's got some talent.
Good player.
Yep.
And on the near side in the blue, can't see him serving right now. He's walking up to the net. There we go. That is
Mark Miller.
Nope.
No?
Yeah, that's Mark Miller.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mark Miller.
That's okay.
And Mark Miller's got 30.1 on the PTI scale, 4-5 on the season, and Steve Toomey in the red.
Yep, you betcha.
At 5-2, 24.5 PTI. Good match on paper. Again, similar to last match, I think we're going to have the heavier racket skills, probably on the South Barrington side, but maybe more experience and a little bit paddle knowledge on the side of Valley Low. So, be a good matchup.
Absolutely.
Hopefully some fireworks.
You know what's funny is that I haven't mentioned, and I try to do this every week, Coach Will, is that I haven't mentioned the home court advantage, which, by the way, varies from club to club, but sometimes it doesn't make any difference at all, and sometimes, well, a little local knowledge goes a long way. So we'll just mention that. You just know where to toss the ball so you don't get a face full of lights, that type of thing.
Yeah. Good courts are looking good out here.
They
Grid's
are
good.
I mentioned it before. The lighting is awesome here.
Got some really nice. I actually really like that Valley Low graphic on the windscreen there.
It is cool, isn't it?
Yep. So should be a good match. Kind of looking to see. I don't really know the habits of any of these players too well, although I've seen Scott play once or twice. He's pretty aggressive, kind of your prototypical tennis player turned paddle player.
Sure.
So just got to contain the aggression at times and play the game.
Sure. Good drive. Yeah. And Pete Casati, I could just tell you from personal experience, and I'm sure you can echo this, has had a paddle or a racket in his hand for quite a while. So it's not like whether he's played a huge amount of paddle or not, which he has, at least recently. Yeah, he just has a lot of racket skills too, so it's going to be interesting to see, because I've never seen him play paddle. It'll be interesting to see how that translates. I mean, he's a very talented tennis player, so I wonder if he builds his grips up on the paddle like he does on a tennis. I mean, he literally, on his tennis grips, they look like 5 1/4. I mean, if you've ever seen him, he builds them up, and they're still got bevels on them. I don't know how he's able to do that, but anyway.
All right, we'll do a better job keeping track of the score here.
It wouldn't be too hard, I guess. And it was me, I got to blame it on myself. I guess I'm supposed to be doing that. And
Cal's supposed to be doing something.
Really, come on, Cal.
Guy's playing Nintendo on his phone.
Yeah, and we only do have one camera. We're relegated to one camera tonight, and I think it was more of a punishment for my behavior during some of the past telecasts.
As luck would have it, I was texting none other than Mike Rowley. So
Oh.
Yeah. Well, there's a bad influence.
it says something here. He says, "Tell Will." Oh, I think that's all. It must be important though.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, a little color change there. Looks like we turned. That's not Mark Miller. That is.
Wow. So did they switch
Steve
course?
Steve Toomey. No, Steve Toomey just turned orange.
I was going to say.
So.
I promised no more LSD too, and I guess I broke that promise.
Yeah.
It is a balmy. The real feel, I guess, is 10 degrees. So it's a balmy 12 to 10 degrees somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, hold on now. What app are you using? Because Dark Sky says it feels like -3.
Really?
Yeah.
It is very chilly. So again, cold weather paddle here.
You can't depend on that. Go ahead, Coach Will. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, cold weather paddle here. Really important once you establish yourself at the net not to make loose errors, and drives are going to be less effective. Overheads will be a little more effective. So really important to hold serve in these conditions. And typically you'll see the top level players when they go to these conditions elect to serve rather than receive. It's one of the rare instances that tournament players will often make that decision. Now, here we go. First point.
Uh-oh. Is that a sip?
Oh boy.
Because we haven't talked about.
Drinking game only applied to the first one.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to play along.
All right. If you want to play the drinking game at home, we're looking at missed lobs 1 drink, fault 1 drink, peg 2 drinks, audible obscenity also 2 drinks, and a paddle throw or ball abuse would be finish your drink. Luckily, didn't have to go through any of that in the last one, despite Roger Mills' aggressive temper.
Yeah. One of the nicest guys ever to set a foot on a court, by the way.
Yeah.
But Yeah, so, uh-oh.
We got another fault. So
There we go. So right the first game, people are going to get kind of nice and toasty.
it's kind of another cardinal sin in these conditions. You don't want to give up free points because on the serve, because it is easier to absorb that volley. You got to make the guy challenge you. And there it is right there. Scotty
Wow.
Atman with a really nice forehand. At least he made him earn it.
That's exactly right. I'm going to ask you a question because I've mentioned this. And this is not always a hard, fast rule for everybody because everybody has their own serve rhythm. But sometimes if you've made 2 faults, especially in a row, I tell people to slow down. Like, sometimes, most of the time when a lot of the league players that I coach will do that, they're rushing. They're like just getting the point started, which I understand because that's kind of almost fashionable. You see that going on tour a lot and tennis, where you'll see people just kind of keep rolling along and continuing to serve where it's like the game lasts maybe, 60 seconds. But at this point, I'm just wondering, is that something that you recommend as well if you see somebody faulting? Hey, slow down, get your rhythm back.
So I got to be honest. I think, everybody's got their own tone to that. I personally, when things don't go my way, like to keep my pace still pretty fast because I don't want to overthink it.
Yes.
Everybody's got their own kind of way of handling it, but I really like to plow through. And honestly, one of my big pet peeves is I do play a very quick step to the line and serve type rhythm on my service games, and I really don't like when players throw me off of that. And there are a couple guys that know that, and once in a while, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but they will request extra time, which I got to be honest, to the letter of the law, really isn't supposed to
It's
happen.
supposed to be at the service
it's
pace.
supposed to be at the service
I'm
pace,
gonna
so.
be, truth be told, full disclosure, Coach, I asked you that question exactly for that reason because I kind of figured that out about you after watching you play.
Yeah, I mean, again, it is a gentleman's sport. Unfortunately, you'll see a lot of players that don't fit the mold, like me. So
That's not necessarily true. I mean, although you maybe have a certain emotional outburst or two every so often, I don't know. I've never seen you be unsportsmanlike. I think if you get mad at yourself,
you haven't watched enough.
Of course, you won every match I've watched you play, so I'm not saying that you wouldn't, misbehave if you were. That's a good kicker. If you wouldn't misbehave if you were losing. So that's why I asked you that, because it just seemed to me when I was watching you play way back when, like I said, that I-55 tournament, you do like to go at a certain clip.
Yeah, well, I did have an awfully nice result, which I played well for an early tournament, and also my partner just doesn't miss the ball, so it was
Adam's a machine.
Great ball. Here we go. So look at this. We got a little overhitting on the screen there.
Unbelievable.
That ball hangs up even in this weather. That ball is just too high off the screen, and you're going to pay the price. So
Absolutely. In this weather, that's kind of not easy to do, to hit the ball that hard, to keep it that high.
Really nice ball by Toomey there.
Good serve from Atman.
That's an aggressive swing at the serve. He's been making them, so seems to be kind of paying off, challenging the returner just enough.
Almost in cold weather, it's a great shot. In cold weather, you get away with that, don't you, Coach? Serving a little harder only because the cold weather is going to kind of slow the ball down?
Maybe. I don't know. It could be good or it could be bad. It
Gotcha.
just depends how the returner handles
Yeah.
it. I think it might be nice for containing the power or the velocity a little bit, but
there is such a thing as serving too hard.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends how good your targets are and how much spin you're dealing with. I mean, that's kind of the great thing about serving this game. Serving in this game is one of the biggest challenges in terms of figuring out how to handle it, because there are rewards and there are considerable risks. You only get one, and if you can do something challenging enough to the returner and get a free slip to the net, that's incredible. Unfortunately, at the top level, that almost doesn't really exist, which is why
I was just going to say that.
Which is why you've seen a lot of players go to the underhand serve in the last couple of years.
No question.
Very aggressive kamikaze there.
Yeah.
Up
It
to
also
the net.
depends on who you're serving to.
Yep.
Some people are just handle certain things better than others.
Sure, but as you can imagine, in the tournament level,
Oh yeah.
there's almost nobody who doesn't have a
No.
weapon with the return. So
No, it's gonna get eaten up.
So
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
ball right there by Mark Miller is something we're going to look forward to seeing more of. Hopefully, the net teams capitalize on those lower point of contact overheads and challenge the backcourt.
Keeping the
with-
ball low,
Yep, keep
right
it-
down the middle like that.
Keep it low and punchy. Toomey taking a couple extra warm-ups here.
That had some heat on it too.
That did. He's going for challenge here. It's a good serve.
It worked. Last minute flick there by Atman. Look at that. He's watching the ball well.
So I think we're at 1-all here.
I think so too.
Casati set
it's
it up
gonna
well.
work.
Oh, maybe around the net post? No. Right at him. That's a great drive there.
Yep.
Little flick of the wrist.
Part of the game. So Love 15, 1-all. First set here at Lovely. I haven't used that adjective in a while. Valley Low Club. I was going to say the Eagles, but let's call them the Rising Suns now. I think that's a good mascot, better than the Eagles. Just trying to be creative without being drug-induced. Yes. Nice hands there by Mark Miller. Little consult from Pete Casati to Scotty Atman. Much to your point, maybe slowing down the rhythm of Steve Toomey.
He seems unaffected.
He did. He's there. He's there.
Yeah, here we go.
You
A
know,
little risky to drive that ball, but he gets away
Casati
with
still
it.
has the speed, man. He always had wheels. It's not though he's the fastest guy out there, but he's just much faster than he looks. And I mean that in a complimentary way. Get down. That was a nice serve. Wow. Almost overpowering. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Toomey is going to challenge them with the serve. It looks
Yes.
like he does not want to deal with the returns of these.
Uh-oh. And yet there
Talented
comes the
racket
changeup,
players.
little
Yep.
Tommy John action, or like Nolan Ryan, just throwing a 71-mile-an-hour changeup. Uh-oh, and missing with the fastball. This is a break point, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not.
Thanks for bailing me
So
out. And it
3-fault
looks
game
like
there.
it was.
Yep.
Must be that psychology, the instinct, anyway. So 2-1 South Barrington. First set. I noticed Steve Toomey wearing the goggles. Not an easy thing to do. I'm a glasses wearer, and those are. It's amazing how he can keep them less fogged. Because I got to tell you something, you're much better off wearing contacts out there, especially on a night like tonight, because when you breathe, fogs them right up.
Well, apparently Sean needs glasses. He just walked up to the camera and gave a little salute to the viewers there.
It's a nice serve from
Yeah,
Pete
it is.
Casati.
Good target. Got it just far enough over to jam. Toomey.
Exactly. Left hip. Oh,
Another good one
I
there.
think it stayed in. Yeah, Casati from a very talented tennis playing family. His brother Steve, awesome player, played ATP Tour tennis.
That previous overhead, really want to have Scott stay put there, and they got a little scrambled up at the net there.
No question.
Pete's directing him to kind of stay put on that particular angle there, so that's good paddle IQ by Casati,
Oh,
although it may have.
I jinxed him by talking about how good his serve was going.
Yep.
I should just shut up. They've been telling me that for years. Hasn't worked.
That's a
Nice.
great
Yeah.
volley, lower than the net. Took a lot of pace off. Still hit it
question.
clean.
Styles, get over. Oh, nice try. Good touch in the corner there from Casati. Nice try by Mark Miller. It's tough to get down there. I want to say a big shout out to Court 4 for South Barrington, Jim Hack and Jordy Aarons, two of my buddies from way back. You just saw them out there. Guys are looking good. I don't know what vitamins they're taking, but I should probably be taking the same ones. Good lob. Maybe not.
A little shallow, yep.
He mishit that. I didn't even notice it. Just looked good because he hit it so high. That's a great serve.
Yeah.
And I think the unsung heroes of Valley Low has to be the architect that saw a hill this steep and thought it's made a flat surface.
You were able to stand on that snowbank, Cal, and get that one camera into position. So, kudos.
That was an incredible snowbank. Although no ramp to the parking lot, which,
Well, not directly anyway. Not directly. I want to say it's 3-1, yeah.
3-1
yeah.
here.
But you know what, Will? That's okay, Cal. It's customary to be here till 1 a.m. Taking down all the equipment. Will and I are going to go to separate ways, but go to restaurants later. And we'll just let you take down. We call that the strike.
So, no faults yet this game. Big return by
It was.
Casati. Yeah, really pure.
Flatten it out, why don't you? Awesome. Apparently they have a huge program here at Valley Low, Coach Will.
One of the biggest in the nation. I think, in fact, for a private club, it may be the biggest.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't surprise me at all. I was going to say, how many teams do you guys field out of North Shore Country Club?
So we've got currently 9 men's and 10 women's.
Huge.
Yeah. So it's
Awesome.
really good. Probably one of the, well, it is, I think, the second biggest forecourt facility in Chicago, and it's got to be up there in the nation. Michigan Shores is the only one that's a little bigger.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
19 teams, that's a lot to manage. Whoa, almost fell over his feet there, but it's maintained his balance. Impressive.
his serve was actually pretty far out.
And it came back inside the line. That's style.
Well, no, they just didn't call it.
You can't teach that.
That was a little bit of a risky
I was trying to spin
angle.
it positive, no pun intended, Cal, and you kind of blew it for me, but that's okay. I think there's a rule that says one player has to have neon shoes on. Uh-oh. If you're going to miss a serve, that's probably not it. Okay, now, for those of you playing at home, a hat throw is not a racket throw, so you do not finish your drink if you are playing the CPTC LiveStream drinking game. So that was a hat throw. That was not a paddle throw or ball abuse for that matter. So Mark's just had it with the hat.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a long time coming there. I know people were already very, that's going to spin if it, no. A little headhunting, not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Headhunting there is probably,
No,
nice
it
poach.
just a little high. It wasn't, that's fair play as far as I'm concerned. In fact, if you're going to stay on top of the net in a couple of those situations,
You're fair game.
you got to be ready for it in this game.
No,
man.
I got you. I was almost ready. You know what? That's one of those where I've seen guys take a full swing on the backhand side and hit a topspin and roll right into the guy.
Yeah.
That's style. So it's 4-1 South Barrington, by the way, just making sure we get back to the score here, and I want to say it's 30-love. And what a shot.
That's a good ball.
Oh, spin. No, great shot from Steve Toomey. Way to take advantage of the situation. And the poach from, the opportunistic, if you will, poach from Pete Casati. 30-15. There we go. 30-all, making it interesting, if not exciting. Young Scotty Oppman. Wow.
It's a really good return.
He almost swung down through that. That's a tall drink of water there. That's impressive. That was up near his eyes.
Now Oh, sorry, go ahead,
Now,
Kel.
Sean, you'll have to remind me, what is the saying? I believe it's something like, when it rains slightly harder. I think they were on a bit of a point drought there in the last 3 in a row.
Yes. That's 30-40 break point. Oh, don't you
here we
love
go.
that? And he gets away with
Oh,
it.
yeah, he did.
Almost a psych ploy from Casati with a little kind of quasi-cutter there. And I call it a quasi-cutter because it wasn't a full swing.
It's hard to generate enough mustard or razzle-dazzle in this weather to rotate the ball.
To make it stop?
Yeah, to make it act weird.
You bet. Well, one more break point here for Valley Low. Down 1-4, or I should say 4-1 right now.
Great hands.
Awesome.
A little careful with those high point of contact, hard hit overheads. That's a really good ball. You can see that one stay nice and low.
Yep. Oh,
Didn't release quite enough off the screen, and we got a little bit of a lob error there. So
no question.
This is just purely me being curious. I wonder if it's possible, and or if anybody's done it, to actually take an average of the temperature and shots hit during a match and see the actual percentage of when the temperature's low, how much shorter the points are. Because
So it's interesting. A lot of players think that in really cold conditions that the points actually get shorter. In fact, it is kind of relative to level. If you watch the top level players, you'll actually see a lot of the points get extended because more volleys go back in play. And the players are so good in the backcourt. That was a very risky blitz. He turns his back and runs for the hills.
It may come down.
Almost got it back
it does
in
not.
play. But yeah, so I think last year at Detroit they had the longest live stream point, which was about, I think, 13 minutes long. No joke.
Wow.
In the Detroit Invitational, I think, semifinal match. And it was very cold conditions. It's very hard to do a lot with the ball. So you see the overheaders, they can't spin the ball the same way they like to, so they're playing kind of a conservative method of attack. And the drives don't do as much, so you see a lot of the drivers lay off or kind of bunt the ball around, and you get these incredibly long points when there isn't a lot to be had. I would say at this level it probably keeps it about the same in terms of the point length, perhaps sometimes even shorter, but in theory it should work to make the points longer.
Absolutely. Well, Steve Toomey getting away with a little bit of a let court serve there.
Yep.
I don't know if,
I believe that's a
it was. You know, I'm a big fan of, I don't know about you, Coach, but I coach this way. I'm a big fan of, he wants to take that big a swing. I almost tell him, listen, you got to change your grip a little bit, put a little more rotation on it if you're going to do it. Hey, take a cut there because somehow you got to bring it down. Otherwise, it's going to fly on you. I mean, in colder weather, you probably get away with it a little bit more, but wouldn't you agree with that? You put a little more spin on the ball if you can take that big a cut on the serve, no?
Yeah, no, I agree. Spin's hard to come by today, so that's a little bit of a conundrum. I mean, as a player, I really like warmer conditions.
I was just going to ask you that.
For that reason, because I can generate more spin and that extra traction on the racket gives me a sense of control. But it's harder to get a little bit of slippage in this weather. The ball doesn't quite grip as long on the paddle face.
True.
So you don't get that nice action and control. That's a risky drive, but he gets away with it.
The only reason I ask that is because the best way to me, and this is maybe from tennis also, is you just get used to being able to change your grip a little bit for a little bit more spin, depending on whether you need it or not. Because some guys that like to take a big swing, that's the way I've coached in tennis. Hey, look, you're going to have a cut fastball. You can't hit the ball flat all the time.
It's a great lot by Pete Casati
that was.
there. Lays off the serve and smartly didn't need to do more with it than he did.
It's a good lob from Scotty Adman.
I think it is 5-1 South Barrington.
It's a good lob. Sit. No, guess not. Thought
deep.
that was not going to fly. And looks like that's the first set. We're going to go to a commercial message from the Illinois Bone and Joint Institute.
Oh, sweet.
Pay a few bills, man.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the best choice for orthopedic care. Our walk-in ortho access clinics provide treatment by orthopedic specialists without a trip to the ER. With evening and weekend hours, we provide your family with excellent care when it matters most. Visit ibji.com to find an ortho access immediate care clinic.
All right, we're back for the second set, in the middle of the first point of the second set, by the way. Great lob from Steve Toomey.
And here you can actually hear real audio of Sean Albrecht taking a sip of coffee that was just a little bit too hot.
Abman with a one-handed backhand down the line a la Roger Federer. That was beautiful.
You know, it's funny. He developed that later in his tennis career, so it's impressive to watch him hit that now, because he always had a two-hander when he was a junior. Steve Toomey looking for that down-the-line return, which was nicely hit, but Scott Atman ready for him. Nice pick.
Yeah.
Sit. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It's a tough shot. Again, way to keep it low, Coach, to your point.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great serve.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it was a
It
good
goes
little
for-
takeoff.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
hanging.
It was high enough. No question. Mark Miller trying to go a little two-handed shovel there. Almost pulled it off. He got some good wood on that one.
It's a really good
Quick
look.
game from Casati.
Yep.
Nice serving.
Now, while we have a minute, I'll play intent viewer. Is this a thing in paddle as much as it is in tennis, where you teach kind of where to look when you're hitting it? I know sometimes in tennis you're actually looking after you make contact with the ball. Is it a lot faster paced in paddle where you always want to be looking ahead for the next shot coming in?
Personal experience, like there are some shots that you really want to hold your eyes at the point of contact a little bit longer. I think a really weird thing, if you watch some of the top players, is how they handle volleys.
Yes.
Because volleys in tennis are hit a little bit further away from your body and typically out in front of your body, versus paddle, many times they're kind of like right on your body. So you kind of watch the ball enter into your point of contact, and then looking down it'd be terribly awkward. So you actually don't tend to look at it go
Nice
into
shot.
your paddle.
Not an easy shot. Yep.
So there are a couple weird nuances to that technical element to the game, I guess.
Well, no question. Matter of fact, I've heard this, again, a coach much smarter than I am, much more creative as well, use this term. A volley in paddle is like a body block. You literally get in front of the ball without really moving your paddle as much, where in tennis there's a little bit of reaching going on. Oh, there goes a toss.
Another one.
One-hander.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It was pretty, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Is it, are there net faults in this? If you touch the net, that's
I like the dish right there.
Wow.
Oh, it's a good ball.
I didn't catch that, Cal.
No, is there are there net faults if you touch the net with paddle? Is that a point?
Yeah, I mean, the net may as well be an electric fence. You don't want to touch it.
No.
The net is sacred. Although I got to tell you, I had one of my favorite experiences as a pro the other day. I took down one of our nets at North Shore to replace it, and I had a ritualistic burning, ceremonial burning of the net. I had a six-pack in the parking lot and set that thing on fire. And
Was it at least in a garbage can?
yeah.
Just kind of contain that. That's a cool tradition, though, Coach. I I'm sure the tennis/paddle gods appreciated it.
No, they didn't reward me. Let's put it that way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the faults have really been kind of plaguing Toomey and Miller. I get it. You don't want to have to deal with something like that, but you're better off making him come up with it. And in this weather, I mean, I got to say, these guys, Miller and Toomey, have really good hands. So
No question.
Don't think they need to worry quite as much as they are about that return of serve until these guys draw a bunch more points from it. So
couldn't agree more. I haven't seen Steve miss too many first volleys, number one. And two, to your point, they just won that point. I mean, they had great position at the net, and they were able to hit a second or a third volley for a virtual winner.
Yeah, I think the fear factor is a little
speed.
Yeah, it's a little overblown. They got to kind of back off and make these guys earn it a little bit more.
Sure. Once again, South Barrington won the first set. We're in the second set. I want to say 1-2.
Nice drive.
Get down.
Wow.
Oh.
Just wide.
If he'd have pulled that off, that's kind of a typical racket sports guy reflex if he gets that. I want to say 2-2.
I think that's right, yeah.
I don't want to accuse anybody of bias, but Sean, you do live in the Barrington area, correct?
No, I do not. I live in Killdeer. Not that anybody needs to know that. Thanks for bringing that up, Cal. I got enough. To be fair, I did. I was the tennis supervisor for 6 years at South Barrington Club, so I do know a fair amount of these guys pretty well. 6 of the worst years of my life, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. It was actually fun. It's good guys, and Jay Morgan, Paul Burris, now Kurt Kopp. Look at a shot. He's there. Oh,
yeah.
almost.
Where is Kurt Kopp? That guy has some serious racket skills.
No question about it. No, you know what's really funny? I was at a clinic for a private party, and he was one of the instructors that was hired, and he set up to hit the serve right-handed, and he, if you know Kurt, is a natural lefty, but it looked perfect. It was like a perfect. I mean, I've been playing for 40-something years. He had. I mean, my serve, I've worked on it a lot. It's not a bad-looking serve. His got way better form than I do, and he's playing with his right hand. So it's pretty impressive. So it's funny you say that, but yeah, he's at South Barrington. He's the director there now. So he might be even part general manager.
We just see a really good return there from Toomey. And
no
it looks
question.
Like these guys are building a little bit of steam here, so could be interesting here. The overheads are not quite challenging enough, although, like I said,
it's a great shot.
You'll get a couple of those miss hits on the lobs once in a while.
Yeah.
They really...
Yeah, you don't see that, by the way, that last shot, to be more specific about from Pete Casati, you don't see that very often, the
goes
slice.
Back to the well there.
He does.
That's 2 in a row. Casati's got to stick that line now.
Yep. It's funny because that is really not something that you coach either. Well, we don't really worry about the alley because it's such a small court. Every so often you'll see somebody who just seems to have a feel for it. You may have to watch. Scott Appman getting away with that lead court serve. I always say, it's just clean living when you get away with those too long. People just say you're lucky. I say it's just you're a good person.
Well,
I'd like
look
to
at
think
this. We got our first eye formation.
Yep. He's not even getting down. He's got a lot of faith in his partner there not to hit him in the head.
Oh,
he goes again to that.
Good setup. A little aggressive with the target.
I like the fact they did that on, he's thinking it was a game point. It is.
Yeah.
It did look like game point.
I think that may actually be 2-1 here. It's either 2-1 or 3-2. I
think it's 3-2.
3-2? Okay.
So 2-3 or 3-2? Because I thought it was 2-3, but maybe not.
Yeah, 2 serving 3. Yep.
Okay, here we go. If what's good for the goose, as they say. Little eye slash Australian right there.
It's a really good move, forcing Casati to hit it into a smaller area of the court, taking away the greatest area through the middle.
That was, Coach. Good point. That's a nice pace on the serve just to get in.
Yeah,
right there.
Again, I just got to. I haven't seen these guys miss a ton. I haven't seen them miss enough first volleys to warrant being excessively aggressive with the serve. That is a great lob there by Apple.
Yep. It's a nice touch. He's there. Oh,
good little
going
cut
for some
look
schmancy.
there. Yeah.
Maybe let it drop a little too low.
Tried to give him the sizzler.
You use images like that. You see a guy my age, we think of eating at the Sizzler, which was a restaurant. I don't even know if you guys. Well, I know Cal's not old enough to remember that. I don't even know if the Sizzler's around anymore. Nice hands, by the way, by Mark Miller right there on that volley.
There's the one-hander. Caught him leaning.
I got a soft spot for that one-hander. I like that shot. If you can set up for it. Well, they're not only going
Yeah, we're giving them signals now.
Australian, but we're getting signals. I love it. Real doubles. Sit down.
Yeah.
Good hands again.
Really nice setup, though.
Good switch.
Yep.
Good lob. We call that a green light lob. That's drivable after that, and it worked for him.
Caught him leaning just again.
Yep.
I don't mind that Toomey is looking for that ball through the middle, but he's been burned a couple times on the line. And
Sure.
These guys are trying to keep him glued, so you may have to be a little less aggressive with the movement. That's a really good ball again.
Another good lob. I like that ship. That's just.
Look at that dig.
Yep. To your point, there's some paddle experience there. A lot of guys would give up on a ball like that.
Smart reset. That's a great ball.
It's a nice setup by Casati. A couple of soft ones down the middle.
He has used his overhead in just about the right capacity every time.
Yeah, sure looked that way. There we go. Nice serve. No way. Inside out. Passing shot from Young
love
Appin.
to see Miller let that ball drop just about one more foot on the point of contact. He's giving him just enough height on that ball to open up the angle. So
Gotcha.
He lets that ball drop. Yeah, I'm telling you, 1 foot right to about shoulder level, just underneath shoulder level. That ball is not going to be hit the same way.
It's a good point, Coach. Sometimes where in the strike zone the ball is can make just as much of a difference as how deep the ball is. Casati missing the first serve, love 15.
At 4-2.
Yep. That's good.
Great hands there.
Unbelievable hands from Scotty Appin. Reflex. 15 all against South Barrington, won the first set, and they are up 4-2 in the second. The South Barrington Broncos versus the Valley Low Rising Suns. And I don't mean that in a gender-based way. I don't want any hate mail any more than I usually get.
I didn't know Suns had gender. Oh, Rising Suns. Like
exactly.
Rising,
Exactly.
I got it. I thought we were, because the Valley Low's got that logo.
Well, that's
there.
where
It
I'm
looks
going
like
with
sun.
it. That's exactly where I was going with it. It's S-U-N. That's where I was going. I just figure, depending on the way people take it, I just want to make sure,
Got it.
Is the Rising Sun not the real Japanese flag?
I believe it is, but I didn't want to even take that right there.
We're bordering on some.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Cal, for digging a deeper hole. So, I was digging a deep enough hole by myself.
Yeah, I don't know why you went to Rising Suns.
How about Comets then? Fine. It's a star. Fine. Whatever.
Or it could be Frosty's head.
Oh, look at that. Great dig there.
Yeah, but then if it's snowmen, it's gender-based again. We can't. another, and that was, tell you what, right into the camera. And I want to say that kind of, yeah, we haven't really had that happen before. There goes Cal like a bolt out there to change the camera, because that's the only camera we're working with right now. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know whether you can look at it both ways. We like to look at it, spin it as positive as possible here on the CPTC LiveStream. At the very least, we like to do that. Cal, by the way, for those of you at home, he is single. I think he does have a girlfriend, but he is 6'7". He's able to reach these cameras on his own without a ladder, which is impressive.
Will you have?
Talk about.
All right. Well, Peter just earned himself a really tough little segment here.
Pete Casati taking advantage of the shotgun, Mike. Usually we don't put it in a conspicuous place like that, because we usually have the
That's great hands.
Clean living. Steve Toomey on the net. Another advantage of being that close to the net, you're going to get a lot more let cords going your way. Cal is still not happy with that camera angle, and I don't blame him. You have to be a little detail-oriented. No, you got to be a lot detail-oriented. And Pete doesn't like the fact that we take a little camera time out there. Probably would bother Steve more than it's going to bother Peter, though. Steve being the server. Guess not. He's just got it. It's going to drop. He does have a nice little rotation on that backhand. It just snaps down.
Yeah, Appman firing away again. Toomey and Miller need to find a way to. These guys have been extremely aggressive with their takes in the backcourt, and it's paid off. So they need to find a way to get the ball at least through to the screen, because off the deck,
they're driving.
Yeah, Casati and Appman have been
Speed.
lethal. Or do that. That works too.
I mean, you're not going to win very many points in that position. Mark's just exceedingly talented to be able to pull that off. But yeah, I agree with you, Coach, to your point. It's a good lob. Wow. It's a great lob return. Tell you what, Scotty's definitely rolling right now. Unbelievable. Top spin lob, really? Look at this.
Comes a waterfall.
One more. He's going to get the overhead out of it. Did it go in? No.
That was just deep.
Just missed. Just as a joke, I usually turn to my partner and go, come on, that was routine. What the hell? How could you miss that? Knowing full well that it probably was not. Again, to your point, haven't really missed many first volleys off the return.
Yeah, it's mostly been during the point, and it, again, as a result of a high point of contact overhead where they're getting pushed off the net.
Yep.
The return to serve, they're getting to good positions on the court and setting up shop. It's a little bit more programmed. The chaos during the point is what's kind of throwing them off, and the high point of contact overheads there have been hurting them a little bit more.
That's like a good short first volley. Skywalking, get over. No. And I'm not rooting either way. I'm just trying to see some good paddle, Coach. Well, just so you know.
I would love to see Casati just choke this set away.
I think Scott Attman just heard you. So I want to say 5-3, no?
That sounds right to me.
Good first volley from Scotty. Skywalking lob is a little wide.
Yep.
So 30-15. Once again, South Barrington won the first set. Is up 5-3 and 30-15 in the second. Scotty Attman serving. His partner, Peter Casati, at the net against Steve Toomey with the big forehand up the line.
But put
great,
that time in.
great hands by Casati.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
he goes back to
almost.
it again.
He just owns that.
Pinpoint accuracy there.
I don't want to
the
neglect.
first volley was incredible
It
by
was.
Casati. He
Had to do the flip.
stonewalled it. Yeah, that was beautiful.
And let's not forget Mark Miller, very steady player right there in the red for
Good
Valley Low.
switch there. Really good spot on that.
Good reflex off the nick there.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. That's going to be problems, but no.
Yeah, Appman missed a shift there. After he goes ad side, he's got to come a little bit tighter onto that center line and anticipate that ball coming back through the middle on the lob.
Now, we're at 30 all here. Or no, I take it back. 30. He's going to hit this.
Little miss hit, but a good blitz
gets
behind
away with it.
Had the one he wanted. That is it there, folks. Nope, it's
no,
not.
No.
We got more paddle.
You're allowed.
We could have another set. You don't know. It's going to be the start of the comeback.
Sorry, I thought we were at 45 there. Okay.
We may be. Oh. I'm not sure it's 40-30 because I could swear they won 2. I know they got one of them off Steve Toomey's forehand drive.
30-40
I think so too.
Another really good return and caught. Yeah. That shot worries me a little bit.
It does.
It's just a little
and
too
the break.
firm. Yep. And needed it.
That's game. Yep. That's the break. So it is 4-5 Valley Low, hanging in there. They don't want to go home. As cold as it is, I guess they are at home. I mean, that's kind of a weird thing to say, but maybe that's why they call them the Rising Suns, guys.
I'm still trying to picture like a rising sun, like my son in the morning, 9 months old, rising up, you know.
Sure.
And 5 a.m. up like a.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not getting much sleep right now.
Just call it a rising sun.
I love that shot.
It's really tricky. Second you see that face open, you got to be thinking
lob.
And then
Yep.
he just kind of punches it into a really
That's a
awkward
Sanjeev
spot.
Pillai shot, by the way. I'm just going to say that. It's just you have no idea what's happening. You just see the racket face, think you got it read, and no. Think again.
Yeah, they're kind of asking for it here. This pattern has not been nice for Miller and Toomey here, but the high point of contact overheads keep coming.
Absolutely. Good waterfall. He's there.
Yeah. Another one.
Speed. That's just.
I mean, unless you're trying to bait that situation, which I gotta believe that they wouldn't want to do here because of the patterns.
Exactly. It hasn't been working for him.
Yeah, you got to find a way not to hit that ball that high.
No question. 15 all. That's a great lob. He hit it. He hit it.
Yeah, he did.
Scott Appin.
And this is just kind of going hand in hand with the patterns we've been seeing. But what you'll notice a lot of the higher level players do is they'll intentionally lag off the net to facilitate lower points of contact. Now, you have to be careful about doing that. You do it a little too much and players poke into the area that's open. It's not so good. But I think part of
this is a set point right here, by the way. And that's it.
That is.
I believe that's it.
That is, no.
No, I could swear that's it. Wait a minute. And here I am getting cocky about the score.
I think I was right.
I think you were right, and I didn't believe you. Think about that. I'm not even drinking, and you're keeping the score better than I am.
I think it's 5-3 here. But point being,
look at that lob. It's in there.
You watch the higher level players, you're going to see them intentionally keep their position a little further off the net to maintain control of the point.
Nice touch. Oh. I agree, Coach.
And let them have slightly lower points of contact on their average overhead. So that would be a good project for these two to go through in the next few weeks of the season and hopefully come back a little stronger.
Yeah, I think it was a little wide. They played it. He played it. What a sportsman. I mean, you get more points in the Sportsmanship Award for that kind of move, just so you know. Not getting that one back. That's going to be tough. I mentioned Sanjeev before. I swear to God, I think Scotty Abbott's been watching him play so long. He just plays like Sanjeev now. It's crazy. I don't know what the heck's going on anymore. That was in there.
Yeah, he's got two leg cord.
That's a smart volley by Casati down the middle, and that thing did not come up for air. I mean, he could be bowling. He picked up the spare there. I mean, that thing just rolled. Impressive. What we got, 30-15? Yes.
Ooh, good hands.
And he lets it go. Amazing. There it is.
Wrong once again, sir.
It's okay, as we know.
That a good match all around there.
Absolutely. And I want to thank everybody for joining us again. Any of the people who are just watching us on the live stream, or if you're going to watch it after it was recorded, either way, thank you for another round of matches here at lovely Valley Little Country Club. For Will Colmar, I'm Sean Albrecht, and for Cal Noble, for that matter, Cal, and Matt McClure, who's not even here. I just want to say thanks for watching, and have a good one.